and we're gonna talk about Thug in a minute.
Got it.
But Thug said that wild shit on $1 million worth of game, and keep it a buck. That timeline wasn't unanimous like Hove defense.
Yeah.
It's an error thing. It was kids out there like, he right. I don't know no Hove hit. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to be there.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Were you kind of surprised that Wayno and Gilly the Kid let that slide? Just like they kind of just agreed with him. I feel like.
No, was I surprised?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
I think they're in the business of entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah. They kind of got there.
Like they looked at that as like, nigga, that's about to fire.
Yeah. They let that slide because they go, oh, we going viral this week. You know, and I think that, and that's not a knock on them. That's just great production. Because I think based off of what he was attempting to say, Hove's so cool. Hove wouldn't take that as a slight. He gonna spank him at some point on a record. Like it's gonna come back and he gonna say some shit. But we just got done talking about it before we started the show. There are no rules on the internet, so people are getting up there and saying anything. Nigga, we'd benefit if one of y'all niggas just jumped off and said some wild shit today. Can we do some numbers? Like that's really what it's coming down to. It's like, yo, we want to go viral. Please somebody say some foul shit.
I mean, how wild you want to go?
Okay, never mind.
I was about to say, hey, me and L, we be at the dunk contest. We be throwing each other the hoops, and then you stop us.
It was like, hey.
You over here finding new moves to make and shit.
That is hilarious. No, but I'm just. So what is it? You know what? Is it just chapters? Is there really like, yo, you had to be there to know that this was something, you know?
I think a part of it, at least for Thug though, I think it's when you start really sniffing your own shit for a while. Because if you can put yourself into a certain type of bubble and like, you know that you make, you get the clarification from everybody else that you make great music.
Yeah.
Then at some point you can be that disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like as far as like a new person, I think he's not that new anymore, but as a newer person in the game, I think that's something that you just naturally start doing is that, and I don't, because he kind of did that shit before he did Barter 6, remember? Like the whole shit, when he started going at Wayne about shit, in order to promote that, you know, that's not too far-fetched from what he would do.
So,
but he is great though.
That's the thing. Someone. So there's a couple of things happening for me. Because he said something that I disagree with, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not a super fucking fan of Young Thug. Like I just can't do that. That doesn't seem fair either. And then another thing is when you are as talented as him, and you just do the math on how this shit is working, streams, views, engagement, clicks, subscriptions, people that followers or subscribers. I don't give a fuck what nobody said.
It's gonna be the death of mankind.
100%. Because he's doing, everybody's doing the math and breaking this shit down and going, well, the music don't even really matter.
And if you think about it, Young Thug been doing it
from rip. The dresses, everything, like
dresses,
yeah. He been on it, and it's been subtle and it's been in different ways, but just constantly reinventing the wheel of how to keep you engaged, and it's fucking working. He dominated the internet in the holiday stretch when it's usually ain't shit going on. Everybody, people that don't even know who he is for real or aren't familiar with the music we're talking about. I thought it was fascinating, and not to big it up, but I'm curious on who is the. I don't feel like we get to blame him. I feel like everybody else is responsible. I feel like we're responsible, right? Because this thing is in every headline.
It's a duality to it.
Talk to me.
It's definitely the public's fault, or just public fault, peers' fault. Mentor's fault, but it's also the fault of the person that be saying these things, because like y'all be like you get caught up in the moment so much that you don't look forward or behind enough in order to really get a gauge on it.
You don't look forward or behind enough. I'm with that.
Just to get a gauge on it, you know what I'm saying? And I think
a gauge on what?
A gauge on, for one, I would say the ethics, the morality.
But who? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are morals supposed to apply? We just said it ain't no rules. We just said it ain't
Oh
normal.
no, I agree. I'm talking about this would just be going all the way back to like ancestral shit. Like I don't think it's more. I don't think it's so much that we get caught up. We get so caught up in a dollar that as long as we can make it, we forget that there's a humanity that needs to be at play. Because if you're just streamlining yourself and trying to big up that part and do whatever the fuck to get a dollar or to get attention. Then what happens when everybody's doing the exact same thing, which is what you're going to end up doing because you're going to inspire other people to do the exact same stupid shit?
That's where we're at right now, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but what happens when we drive that? We just drive all of that home at the exact same time. What if we
Where
don't?
we at
What
right now?
if we don't have the resources for it?
We don't.
Exactly.
We're finding that out.
So what if we lose this entire deal, like all of this shit, off of the strength of we was trying to do something for the moment, we wasn't thinking about tomorrow.
I think that's exactly where we are right now.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think that stops individuals from like somehow, some way trying to reverse that trend. Like I think if you just become a part of the problem, then of course we never going like we're just going to doom. But I think like if you try to reverse that somehow, some ways, then I think that's more important right now.
Well,
it has nothing to do with bread though. Like if you make your bread, I guess.
No. That's real. I'm trying to. Because we especially during the pandemic, we had the same conversation as to a means as why people keep trying to compartmentalize economics. Number one export for a really long time has been hip hop music, specifically trap music. Number one export from America, like no coffee, no corn, tobacco, nigga, none of that. Talking about rap music, traveling around the world. So now we can go, okay, economically, nigga, this has to matter, and these primarily at the core of who's creating it are black folks. How that trickles down is a different, and who has what to show for it is a completely different conversation, but nonetheless economics. So when someone as talented as a Young Thug is trying to decode how to not only make it but sustain it and grow it out of whatever shitty contract he may have had initially to own the ownership and leverage he has acquired over sustaining it. Now it's time to upscale and figure out something else, and doing the math on everything from big brands to politics, trolling, and commandeering the conversation seems to be the not only the fastest way but the most efficient way. To your point, in the present, but the shit it's fail proof. It's work. The manipulations of people's emotions.
I wouldn't say it's fail proof.
Talk to me.
Because I think we have such a small window as far as internet goes. Like I think we keep acting like the internet has been around forever. Like it's still a newborn, damn near. Like I know it's been around. It's still like it's in its like infancy stage, I would say. Like it's growing at a rapid pace, but I wouldn't say that as far as time goes that it's not still new on the block. So for us to like the way that we're utilizing it is like it's a lot of new bread that's available to it. I get you on that part, but is it sustainable? Is all of this attention that everybody is trying to garnish and all these eyes are trying to get, is that sustainable overall? We don't know that answer. Like, yes, it's fail-proof right now, but we don't know that answer full, like, long-term. So if you're trying to stay here for 5 years, then do that shit all day.
It might not even last 5.
You know?
At
this rate, we might not have any of this shit over the next like 3 years. Who the fuck knows? We just saw 2020. We don't know what the fuck's about that.
So when we get into people who have 5-year runs, that's exceptional. You start talking about 10, 15, 20-year runs. Now we just celebrated 40 and short 30. We talking about 30 years of consistency. You can argue semantics all you want about what you fuck with, what you don't, but them niggas been around for 30 years, getting a bag. Whether niggas want to admit it or not, we about to start talking about 30 years for fucking Lil Wayne, y'all. Like, that's a long time. We about to start talking about 30 years for Wayne.
You got to think.
Not even 40 yet.
For him to start as young as he did, and think about other young rappers that started at the age he did, they did not last. Like, they couldn't grow up. And still, like, the music he made, he grew up with it, and it always got better. Like, it's fascinating.
So I hear what you're saying. We don't.
We about to celebrate 25 from Shaw Moss.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
What?
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
And it's funny, but it's not at the same time because it's true.
You're alive.
He been around for these niggas been around for a long time, and for what we gotta speculate and kind of assume is happening behind the scenes, they can tell you for real that these folks don't give a fuck about no music for real.
I wonder who he made mad that they just stopped 106 in Park. They like, nah, nigga, you ain't eating no more.
Shit.
These
People not watching videos. MTV rolling over to the latest fad is what stopped that shit.
people
Nobody watch no countdowns for no videos.
but people not watching videos, but some of these videos got over 1 billion views.
I was about to say, people watching videos.
On YouTube, yes. Like whenever I feel like it, then yes, I can watch a video. But anybody sit down at fucking 8 whatever time, 6 o'clock, and to go watch 106.
But those meetings, what was happening in those meetings, ain't nobody watching this, ain't nobody listening to this, nobody want to hear that, and it's not true. Back on the block, gotta love it. I don't know. I said at a certain point, I stopped listening to what Thug was saying and started watching everyone's response to what he was saying. Andre 3000 video came out the very next day, and then I watched Andre's eulogy at Fife's funeral and where he mentioned Thug by name. So I knew that wasn't true. The second that I saw that, I knew that wasn't true. Right? Didn't need to see the rest of the videos that came out, but wasn't true. Then he goes on to say the shit about Hov, shit about Wayne, and then Hov. It's like, oh, bro, you're selling something. You selling something, and then the kids are all gonna buy into it. That's his demo. His demo's like 14 to 25 maybe of hardcore fans.
Yeah, I agree.
So it brought me. I don't know that conversation that we were having. It was hilarious, but it was also like, it twofold. It was like, yo, how much do niggas just say that they like certain shit in order to fit in the room, and then how much of it is that you really had to be there.
No, that's real.
And I don't
think I can give you a top 10 anymore.
I can't.
I'll be hard pressed to give you a top 10, bro. Like I could probably tell you what the top 3 was. Maybe.
What it was. Like, cause I don't care what nobody say. I was there for that Luda shit. Like I remember that. That nigga was dominant. It was like 2-3 albums consistently. Like now all the conversations around M, like niggas like, oh, Eminem is trash. I'm like, I don't remember that narrative at all. Like, so you had to be there.
Die the hero, live long enough to become a villain.
And then can you do it again? Can you be the hero, live long enough to be the villain, and then be the hero again? It happens. Yeah. This nigga Robert Downey Jr. didn't live 20 lives, nigga. And like we let him do blackface, and I would defend Tropic Thunder to the day that I die.
Completely.
Nigga. I don't care what nobody says.
Funny as hell.
So it just brings up all these different questions. I just got a lot of questions in regards to us, how we fuck with shit. You know, it feels oftentimes feels like we're the culprits in a lot of the shit.
I don't know if you become the hero again in music though. Because it's sonically is different than like the audio is different than like what your visual is. I think Downey, like, he had a stream of like great scripts that he chose.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying you don't think you can do it in music.
I don't know if you can.
Did Hove do it?
No.
No. He didn't become a villain for a little bit with Kingdom Come?
No.
Okay.
Nah, he was kind of trying to do it to himself with the whole retirement thing, and then was still releasing stuff, so like folks wouldn't really believe in him on like what he was saying. And then he tried to do the like the art thing for a second, but still talking to the streets, and the streets don't know shit about art at that time. So that was a little off, like a disconnect. But he came back. That wasn't really like a down period though. I feel like that was like advanced period. Like he was advancing way quicker than his demo was. It took a little time for that demo to grow up.